Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. Today's going to be another one of those short but sweet ones. I apologize for last week. I had a lot of things going on with my day job, which brings me to the bottom line that we're going to do today. Also, I was a little bit tired from putting that shed together. So I have some great stuff for us. We're gonna talk. We're gonna go into Trash Hood. I actually got 3 days out there this week. We're also going to look at some other items that I have that I don't want to ruin for you, and like I said, a bottom line, and then a new healthy after 50. So I've had to try to cut here and there so that I can bring you one thing, and then I'll have it the next week. Like Spirit Time will be again next week, but I do have also Zen Moment. So let's get straight to it and look at Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood. Hey everybody, so this is week 32, day 1, which was Monday. Some interesting things here: a wiffle ball, a can of beans, a broken glass bottle, and then the usual, water bottles and stuff like that. And I think about 14 cigarette butts, so it wasn't too bad of a walk. Day 2, however, got crazy as I went down hatch quite a bit. And as you see there, a lot of debris and I think like 32 cigarette butts and a box of chaw and some beer cans and all that sort of lot of craziness and a part of a fender also. So it was very crazy. And then I thought day 3 was interesting with cigarettes and then string of Christmas lights that were still wrapped around some of the branches, water bottles, food wrappers, a sock, and some more receipts and all that. So not a lot of cigarette butts this time, but they could have been hidden amongst all the branches on the streets that I was walking down. Here's day 5 or Saturday. This was extremely complicated. Had candy wrappers and a bunch of boxes that are underneath. I'm using it as a little plate, and some water bottles and vape pens and junk mail and gloves and torn coffee cans and all that. It was really crazy. And then this was, unfortunately, this was our new record for 2023. This was 42 cigarette butts. It was very unfortunate and made me kind of sad. I thought we were doing better, but I guess Saturday proves that we were not. Okay, so like I said, I was sad for my findings on Saturday. I'm sorry, that was actually Friday. Day 5 is Friday. I was a little bit disappointed in the fact of how many cigarette butts I found. Now, I know I live along some main thoroughfare streets. El Salito Parkway connects 620 to Cypress Creek. 620 itself is pretty crazy. Hatch is also a main thoroughfare that attracts a lot of different individuals, including contractors and that sort of thing. And I know there are people out there that still smoke, so I'm not judging them at all. However, I am judging where they decide to throw away their cigarette butts. Now, some of the people I knew when I was younger that smoked would at least keep their cigarette butts kind of grounded out with their fingers and then put their cigarette butts into their pocket until they got to a trash can. This doesn't seem to be the case here. So we are seeing what happens when there's a lot of construction and a lot of people that are on these busy streets. And it's not necessarily construction. However, I did see some construction people throw cigarette butts, so I'm just throwing you all in the mix. So there was 42 cigarette butts. A new record for 2023. I thought we were at a decent record of 33, and 42 seems to be, the record now. So, which is unfortunate, like I said, but it's also unfortunate because a lot of the trees and branches and everything that people have cut down or have had cut down are still lining the streets where I walk. So in my neighborhood, and I'm sure in your neighborhood as well. So you have to think about where they get thrown. So luckily, so far, there haven't been any small fires or anything like that due to cigarette butts, but uh, time will tell. I think it's just a matter of time as we're moving into the dry, hot season that is known as the rest of the year. Then we might see something pop up, depending on how long it takes to get the branches and that sort of thing done, which is still taking quite a bit of time. I know my sister, who just lives, only a few streets over from me, they have not had their branches picked up. However, I have had my branches picked up, so I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is, and it seems like there's not a schedule. I'm sure there is, but doesn't seem to be right now. So let's. By the way, I didn't get an opportunity to post it because they get pretty long, but I was out this afternoon, actually around noon, at the field house, listening to my nephew Max shred on his guitar with the School of Rock. So if you don't know what School of Rock is, it's based on the movie. Go look it up. Shame on you for not having seen that one. And he did a great job. They're all kids that are at different levels of music experience, and I think once every 4 to 6 weeks they get out there and listen and play some music for their family and friends and anybody else that happens to be out at the field house. For this example, they go to different places. So I didn't get to put any of his music on, but it was really good, and I appreciate what the kids are doing out there. Okay, so let's why don't we go to our Zen moment before we get into the heavy duty stuff? Come with me and lay in the grass. Stare up into the sky as we watch the seasons pass. I look over and I see your lovely face. And I know that it's just this place that I can find anywhere and anytime within my mind. And know that you will be with me, laughing, feeling free, as we watch the sands go through the hourglass, as you lay with me here in the grass. Okay, so there you have it, our Zen moment. So now we're going to go into our bottom line. This is a new one for the week. It has to do with side jobs. Check it out. Dark Frog Social Media presents Bottom Line, Side Hustle When It Becomes Too Much. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bottom Line. So this one is a little bit still, I found that most of these bottom lines have become about jobs, which are job and working, and I get great feedback for it. So I guess this is what people want to hear right now, especially in this economy, especially during some of the lowest unemployment that we've seen in years. So even with the low unemployment, even with people getting let go, and then fortunately they are finding jobs right away, the downside may be that you may not be able to get that same paying job. Now, some places they're saying that they're getting the paying jobs and getting what they used to make and then some. and good for them. But that's not always the case for everyone. So, and of course, this is for people that have already always been working side jobs or have been working side jobs pre-COVID. The what we're seeing, or what I'm seeing, as people begin to get older, unfortunately, they may or may not be able to get um, any other additional income. So that means they have to do the side hustle, the side job, the second job, the nighttime job, whatever you want to call it, or in some instances, the daytime job. Um, so we have to wonder what's going on with the economy. We're beginning to see a very distinct difference between what society currently calls a required job, or a job that is in high demand, or a job that society dictates is something that is necessary. This becomes the tech jobs, the IT, the network security, the network admin, everything network related, everything IT related, the developers, the QA engineers, and on and on and on and on. So those are in high demand, and they pay very well. However, not everybody has that job, or sometimes they have a job that they've had for a long time in that field that isn't paying as well as it could be, or as it should be, depending, again, dictated by society's needs. So for those of you that don't have these type of jobs, there has always been something called a side job, second job, and on and on and on. Sometimes it's pretty decent. Perhaps it's a word processing job. Perhaps it's a data entry job. Perhaps it's nighttime support that you can do from your home. All that is well and good, but that is not always the case. Sometimes these jobs are hard on the individual. Anything in the serving industry, bartending, manufacturing, where they have second and third shifts, where you're on your feet all the time, and that sort of thing. So it can become quite difficult, especially the older you get. So there comes a time when you have to look at, when does the side hustle become too much? Some good rules of thumb here. If you're having to take off of your day job, let's just call it a day job. Consider from now on, in this day job is your full-time, higher paying job. So if you have to take off to do your second job, if you have to take off because you're taking off means from your primary day job. If you're taking off from your day job because you have to leave early in order to get to your night job or second job, if you call in sick because you get hurt from your night job and your day job, that means it's getting too much. So another rule of thumb is are you having to spend more to get to this second job? Are you having to pay more out-of-pocket expenses in order to do this job? For example, you like going to concerts, so you get a side job where you do security at concerts, or you do ticket taker at a concert. However, they require you to be there certain hours early ahead of schedule, and they require you to wear certain things, and then they require you to buy certain equipment, and all that means that your first couple of paychecks are zero or none, or you owe them because you're having to pay for it. Things like that. Third is wear and tear on equipment, i.e. your car and you. So if your second job is getting to the point where you're hobbling around at your day job, or you're unable to perform 100% at your day job, you find yourself falling asleep, or you find yourself you can't sit for a long period of time because you hurt yourself, and so that sitting down hurts you, so you have to stand up. And on and on and on. I mean, it couldn't even get to the severe part where your night job, you lose a finger. and now that impacts your day job to the point where you lose productivity, and you could possibly lose your job. Then you're out one, perhaps even both jobs. So you have to take a look at it, not only from a financial aspect, but from a physical and mental aspect. If your night job becomes so complicated and complex that you're mentally exhausted and you can't work your day job regularly because your night job's killing you, then it might be time to find a second job, or a different job, I should say. And but that can open a lot of avenues for yourself. Maybe your day job isn't as great as you thought it was, and you really like doing your night job, and you can find something in that job that will pay better so that you don't need this day job. Or maybe you can find a nighttime job that does what you like, pays better, and that becomes your primary job, and then your day job becomes your side job, and you can do something like in retail, or something like, working part-time at a vet or something like that, that gets you out of the house and still makes a little bit of money. So you have to take all that into account when you work your side hustle, your side job. So you have to think about it from all different aspects, not just, I gotta have that second paycheck because I can't afford anything. We all been there. We all need to do what we need to do in order to survive and pay our bills. I'm not saying to give up your second job. What I'm saying is that if you're going to work a second job, you need to be aware of the impact on your day job and on yourself. And that's the bottom line. Thanks a lot. I'm still getting all those bright lights incomplete. And before we go on to our final section of the night, I want to thank everybody on the feedback. Unfortunately, as you saw, I didn't get any good poses that I had to try to see if I could get a better screenshot for my main page when you go to this episode, or last week's episode. So I'm trying. The problem comes in is that it's done. It allows me to change the screenshots after everything has been uploaded, and usually that's late evening, and lately I've been having to work at night, so I haven't been able to try to see if I can upload my own screenshot or do something like that. So I think I might have to come up with one main screenshot and do it before I do this video, before I do my show, to see if I can get it done, so that it always is prevalent to what's going on. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, so now we are looking at healthy after 50. I want to thank, excuse me, yes, I still have that allergy cough. I'm sure it's a mold or something that's in the air, but it's getting less and less, by the way, everyone. Thank you for asking about that. Also, thank you if this is your first time coming to my show. Welcome. I hope you have enjoyed it so far, and this is my little corner of the internet, Javier In The Air. You can find me in YouTube. You search for me, Javier In The Air 01, or just Javier In The Air. Not on the air, in the air. I don't know who that guy is. And anyway, so I bring a little bit of information that I know about. I also interview people who are interested in or passionate about things out in the world, crafts, arts, hobbies, publishing, writing, anything like that. I do have my caveats, but I won't go into them here. If you're interested in getting on the show, just let me know. If you'd like to be a co-host from time to time, please let me know. I'd love to get you on the air, and we can have a 2-camera thing going, and I think it would be great. I'd love to set that up. So one of the sections that I've gotten some of the best feedback about so far, and thank you for the feedback, please keep it up, has been healthy after 50. So many things that we've been doing for healthy after 50, and I think it's getting good feedback, and I think it will be continued, and so I will definitely do that. I have not been on the road with anything yet, including Healthy After 50, but I will be doing that soon. So let's see what I can get. So here's your next episode of Healthy After 50. Dark Frog Social Media presents Healthy After 50. Hey everybody, welcome to the new section of my show called Healthy After 50. For those of you who may not have watched any of the previous episodes, shame on you. Unless you're new, then welcome. And you can always go into the archives back on my YouTube channel, Javier In The Air, or you can do a search of Javier In The Air 0101 and find my YouTube channel. So this section is about trying to remain healthy after the age of 50. So this is for anyone and everyone 50 and 1 day old, 50 years and 1 day old plus. So some of you, of course, are killing it. You're doing fantastic. You've always been working out and you continue to work out and you feel great and you don't have any problems. This is probably not for you. For those of us who gave up exercise for a long time and have been slow to getting back at it, those of us who have medical issues that have stopped us from working out and made us lazy or tired, and for those of us who have taken medication that may have caused adverse effects to your body, this is for you. This is a way to try to find how we as a society, as humanity, can try to remain healthy without being pushed or forced or anything in that manner or nature. I know some of you, and I'm throwing myself into this bucket, don't like being pushed into anything, whether it's healthy for you or not. Someone comes up to me and tells me they have an elixir that will make me feel 30 years younger for the rest of my life. I'm not going to believe them. Someone tells me they have snake oil that will make all my joints feel like I'm 15 years old again and I'll never have any pain the rest of my life. I don't believe them. Someone even tells me that eating this way will definitely make you lose weight, and it actually does. I'm probably not going to listen to you just because that's the way my brain works. Unfortunately, but true. And some of you may be in that same boat where you're like, I know my family has told me I need to do this. I know my doctors have told me I need to do this, and I'm just not going to do it. So there's a lot of us out there. Welcome. This section is for you. So what I try to do is just kind of give a high overview of things that you may not be necessarily thinking of as you continue to get older. So we've gone over making appointments that you may not want to make. We've talked about exercise. We've talked about reading your prescription medication to make sure you don't have adverse effects. We talked about trying to keep yourself mentally aware and mentally proficient in your life, which I feel is really huge, especially for those of my viewers who may have medical conditions that impact their neural capacity and their ability to think higher function wise and everything like that. It sucks to get old, but we are all going to get old, so we have to learn. One of the things I want to talk about today is sleep. I know it's near and dear to my heart. I'm sure it's near and dear to yours as well. So as we get older, we may notice that our sleeping habits have gone and changed drastically, even in some cases. I know when I was a young boy, I could sleep anywhere at any time without a problem. And at an instant, lights went out, I could be instantly asleep. Now, I still have some of that feature where I could go to sleep quite instantly, but then I'm up every couple of hours, a couple times, 3-4 times a night to use the facilities, or just because I just come wide awake because of one thing or another, pain, stress from a job, that sort of thing. So when we had that beautiful sleep we had a tendency not to use it. So as you get into your 20s, you want to stay up late, you want to party, and hey, I was right there with you. 3, 4, 5 a.m., and then you sleep for about 3 hours, and then you go to your day job or you go to your job. And we did it, and we all did it. We've all been known to do it. But now, as you get older, specifically as you get over 50, you'll start noticing that sleep is not a bad thing. You like to shake hands with Mr. Morpheus. You are um, a sleeper and you want to sleep. And sometimes, however, and I almost forgot, but as we get older, sometimes we need less sleep. I know for those friends and family of mine that are 60 and over, 5 hours of sleep can sometimes do it. Sometimes not, but for the most part, 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep a day can do it. I know I'm right in that range. I used to be. I used to sleep 8, 9 hours all the time when I was younger, and I could get away with it. And now I find myself getting about 6.5 hours, maybe 6 3/4 hours sleep, and I find that sufficient. So does that mean that I always want to sleep on that? No, I would like to sleep longer sometimes, but life comes at you pretty fast, and you have to wind up doing things sometimes, and that requires you having less sleep. But there's things you can do that will help you to try to get to sleep earlier. If you're a insomniac, then unfortunately none of these things may work for you, because sometimes insomnia is stress related, and it can be mentally triggered. But sometimes insomnia can be medically triggered from the medications that you take, or some lack of medications, or combinations of medications. So it's not always just a stress thing that triggers people's insomnia. So some or most of these things may not help you, but maybe some of them will. Let's find out. So laying in bed is key with, I feel, some people disagree, but I feel a totally dark room is really nice. And why is that? Because a lot of times any light that you see gets your brain going, because you're just one of those individuals that the brain is constantly always trying to do something, or you feel you need to do something, so you get that light. Taking that light will just get you going again. Another thing is no electronic devices. So now what I mean by that is that if you have your alarm, of course you're going to need that. If you have a radio clock that plays music to help you go to sleep, that's perfect. I'm talking about or even, and I'm going to kind of break my rule, even an electronic device like your phone that plays ambient music, that is acceptable if and only if you don't grab that phone in the middle of the night. You hear a text come in, oh my God, I got to see who it is. And I'm guilty of that a lot of times, and I try my best to try to get into a deeper sleep before any of that happens, so that I don't hear it. But you hear a ringtone, you hear a notification come in from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or instant messengers of any sort, or just a straight up text, or just a straight up phone call. Well, these things will keep you awake, because what happens is your mind is slowly going down closer to a deep meditative state that's natural for us, into a REM sleep almost. And then you get the ring, and your brain basically just shakes you awake like a cold glass of water in your face, and you're back up again. So what you need to be aware of are the things that may cause you to continue to stay awake or not go to sleep. Excuse me, not go to sleep as quickly as you would like to. When I say music, I'm talking music that has no words. And studies have shown, and I have confirmed this, that if there's music that has words to it, I will try to listen to what the words are, and I will remain awake longer. If you get something like what I have gotten on, is something called binaural beats, BINAURAL, binaural beats. And basically, it's different types of vocalless music, sometimes played at different frequencies, that actually help your mind to relax, help your body to relax. Also, a nice one, it can be very short exercise. Do 10 squats or do 10 push-ups. You don't want to get into a high heart rate type of exercise, but something that will relax the body, which will help relax the mind. So, sleep, it's important. I hope some of these tips and tricks may have helped. If you have tips and tricks on how you get to sleep quickly, by all means, please send it to me and I'll have it on the show. I also, just laying there calmly and quietly and counting to 60 slowly sometimes will help you relax. The more electronic it is, the less probable it's going to help you sleep. So as we get older, we may sleep less, but the sleep we get needs to be better, and better than what we're used to, more than likely. I know it is for me. So hopefully you'll get some good sleep tonight after you watched my show. Thank you very much. Well, I lied. I thought it was going to be a short episode, and I'm still hitting about 31 minutes, so I apologize to everyone for that. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you have learned something from it, about me, about the world in general, and about your health. So if there you have any comments, questions, thoughts, suggestions, concerns, or would like to be on the show, please drop me a line and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If I don't have anything else, which I don't, then we are going to call it for the day. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all again next week. Thanks a lot, everybody.